So something about you, about creative leadership. So tell me something about what is creative leadership and how leaders or managers could benefit from learning how to use it.
Yeah, so for us, creative leadership came up as an answer to the big problems that we have in the world. So when in 2010 we started thinking about our school, we looked around and we saw all these big societal problems, whether you're talking about hunger or inequity or pollution or systems failing. And we said, that's probably not going to be solved in the same way that the problems were created. It's not going to be solved by the same kind of thinkings that created the problem, as Einstein said. And probably we're not going to solve it with more MBAs, more people filling out a Porter's 5 Forces framework. We probably need a different type of leader, and we dub that creative leaders. And for us, creative leaders are people who have a more creative and a bolder vision. We're also able to lead in a more agile way towards that vision. It's not anymore that you can say that's B, this is A, and we're going to get there in a straight line, right? It's going to be, you got to be more agile. And these are people that can take others along with them on that vision, on that journey.
Sure, but this you can apply in a public sphere or more in private sector for managers or more for leaders.
Yeah, so we call it for leaders, and most of the people we serve are mid-career, say around in their 40s to 50s. At the same time, if I think about leadership, leadership is everyone. Everyone can show leadership, whether you're 18 or 65, whether you're working on the shop floor in a factory or whether you're the CEO. Leadership is an act. It's not a role or a job title.
Important, yeah.
So in that sense, it's for everyone. And we work across sectors. So we work for the big NGOs in Switzerland, the big tech companies in Silicon Valley, governments all around the world, and all the multinationals that you know. But also with small entrepreneurs who are doing new startups or social enterprises. So it's a very diverse field, because all of these actors, all of these different kind of roles need to be there to make change happen.
So do you think that is something specific that people now, the young leaders or in general also use people, managers used to work, that there is something that they miss in particular way?
You mean what young people miss?
Some quality that that young leaders or also experienced leaders miss that you could improve.
So leadership is something you can always improve on. That's one. Then there's a whole swath of things you can talk about. But I think one of the most important right now is that many of the problems we face are not complicated problems. They're difficult, or are complicated problems. Sorry, they're not complex. So let me elaborate a little bit. Complicated problems are problems that are difficult, like how it is difficult to create a machine or repair a machine. Like a car is very, very difficult, but you can take it apart into its components and build it back up. If you have enough experts, if you have enough understanding, you can understand it, create a strategy, and then execute that strategy. We used to think that most of our problems were like that. Most of our organizations are organized like that. If you think about it, we talk about efficiency, effectiveness, human resources, inputs, outputs. We talk about this machine analogy. Actually, most of our problems are complex. They are more the analogy of a rainforest, where if you take away one species over here, another species over there dies. And that's a place where you have to try something and respond. So it's a very different way of approaching. And most leaders are not capable of doing that because they're not trained to delve into complex problems.
For example, now in this situation, in the COVID situation, I don't know exactly how much affected was your country, but for example, our very strong audience is from Italy, which was one of the most affected countries. And now also the managers or leaders are facing not the standard situation. So can creativity be now in some way applied, or because it's very difficult because they are under really huge stress?
Yeah, I think in all these cases, if we need the creative leaders that are able to understand that these are not simple solutions. These are not things that you can just crack. There's not just one answer. You need to start trying things and learning and adapting with a very clear vision. So this creative leaders is what we need more than ever, is to come up with a vision for the future that everybody can aspire to and rally behind. And then start executing on that.
Okay, because
so
now
it's more important than ever, even now in COVID.
Because mainly the worst thing maybe now is that many managers or even public offices, the people have to fire employees, and this is the worst thing. So how now to decide who to keep and who to send away, because it's a really difficult situation, and this is something that maybe I myself cannot imagine how to apply some creativity to resolve this and to work well, because this was unexpected. So it's difficult to adapt.
Yeah, so adaptation is one of these other things, right? And their creativity is needed. We see the room for creativity. If we look around us in other organizations, we see companies swerving outside their lanes. Usually we say focus. Now all of a sudden we see Louis Vuitton making hand sanitizer. We see a car company produce breathing apparatuses. We see all kinds of companies all of a sudden doing different things. We already saw that with the tech companies, but now it's accelerators. So there's an increasing option for creativity to find new products, new services, new ways to benefit the people around you, and therefore stay alive and prevent maybe some of the firing. If then firing happens, that's always tough. There's no way to make that easier. For the people who are being fired, again, it's about creativity. It's about reinvention. Maybe my job won't exist anymore, but there will be another job out there. So are you creative enough to have your own big vision and a way to start getting there? Some place to start on a stepping stone and get towards a new path that might be one that is in dire need in the future, because we will still have jobs. We might have a little bit less in this industry, but in the other industry we have more. Retail is going down, Amazon is going up. So jobs are as much moving as reducing.
Mm-hmm. Now your trainings are mostly in English or also in other languages? You are providing mainly in English so far.
Mostly in English, but we also do Japanese, Chinese, Spanish, French, Portuguese, Arabic. So we do quite a Dutch.
Okay, so maybe you can enter also Italian market in the next future.
Maybe. We hope.
Okay.
We love the Italian food, so that would be a great start. And I love Italy as a country.
For
I'm
sure.
so sorry for all the pain in your country.
Yes, the people really need some hint now, so it would be interesting. Okay, so and in some particular way, what are your target students? Well, usually are managers of big companies, or are public offices leaders, or usually for who is the best option your training?
Yeah, so we have many different types of trainings. We have one program that is for executives, on average about in their early 40s. People, but then they are entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, people in NGOs and people in large companies, people in government. So everything. But we're also just launching a program for younger individuals under 30. or between 25 and 35. That's going to be launched I think next week. It's called the Emerging Leaders Program. And there as well, we have people who are just into a manager position in a bigger company, but also people who are entrepreneurs.
Okay, and is available both online and live. Now, I don't know how it works live in this situation, so you tell me.
Yeah, so we do both online. So the Emerging Leaders Program is entirely online right now. And the other program we're doing hybrid. We hope to get her back in the year a little bit later. Until then, we'll meet online.
Okay. Thank you very much. This is everything from me. Thank you.